Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to today's corporate pitch event focusing on innovation in sustainability. Thank you for tuning in from wherever you are. My name is Warren, and I'm part of the SGInnovate investments team focusing on corporate engagement. Part of what we do is to provide corporates with access to deep tech startups that are relevant to their focus area. Today, we are excited to have a total of 8 startups joining us in this pitch event. 4 will be pitching live, and 4 will be pitching via a pre-recording. They are providing innovative sustainability solutions in the areas of energy, materials, and packaging. Before we begin, let us welcome our Executive Director of Investments, Mr. Xianhui Tong, to give us his welcome remarks. Xianhui, please.
Yeah, thanks a lot, Warren. I'm having some difficulty starting the video. I would say that possibly this might be an improvement. Unfortunately, the video is back on again. So you guys are going to have to see my face. So anyway, thanks, Warren, and a very good afternoon, and thank you all for taking the time to join us today. As Warren has mentioned, my name is Xianhui. I'm the Executive Director of Investments for SGInnovate. For those of you who do not know who we are, we are a Singapore government-backed investment firm, very much focused on early-stage emerging tech that will have the potential to impact Singapore's future economy. Currently, 4 pillars of focus: biotech, advanced manufacturing, agri-tech, and of course the topic for today, which is sustainability. Today's corporate pitch event series seeks to bring together innovative startups in the field, and honestly, not necessarily from our portfolio of investments, but definitely the best of the breed within the industry, and bring them together with corporates and investors with the objective really of advancing the commercialization of such technologies, such that they will have to fulfill the potential to change the world in which we are currently living in. For Singapore, the issue of sustainability is really an existential one. Other than the risk we face with rising sea levels, our economy also risks being impacted by emission limitations placed upon it by the Paris Accords, of which we are signatories. Such limitations has already seen us turn away potentially lucrative data center and energy projects. So sustainability is something that we hold very dear to our heart, and we definitely do need to find a solution to. I'm delighted to have 8 great startups in the areas of energy, materials, and packaging to present today. While each on its own may not solve the complete sustainability challenge, we need to constantly innovate in this area to meet sustainability goals set out. I wish you all a very great event to come. Thanks.
Thank you, Xianhui. To our audience, a gentle reminder of today's event format. Each startup will have 5 minutes to pitch. A poll will be launched after every pitch. If you are interested to connect with the startup, please indicate your interest via the poll. There will be no Q&A at today's event, but feel free to interact via the chat function. Without further ado, let's get started. First up for today, we have Kai from Insectta. Insectta is Singapore's first black soldier fly biotechnology company. They have developed technologies to extract high-value chitosan and melanin from black soldier fly to power our healthcare, personal wellness, and the organic electronics industry. Kai, over to you to tell us more.
All right, afternoon, everyone. I'm Kai, co-founder of Insectta, and we transform insects into resources to power our healthcare and electronics industries. Our solution is a proprietary and patent-pending extraction technology that derives 2 high-value biomaterials, chitosan and melanin, from the amazing black soldier fly, who are being used around the world as a circular solution to food waste. Circularity isn't just a buzzword to us, it's money. Take our first core product, for instance, chitosan, a biomaterial with antimicrobial, antioxidant, and moisturizing properties. With a projected industry value of $4.7 billion by 2027, a robust market for chitosan already exists. Different grades of chitosan make up the 4 broad subcategories within the industry, with our first target market, personal wellness, commanding an estimated $900 million. Chitosan is also used widely in the food and beverage, wastewater treatment, and healthcare and medical industries. But what sets us apart is that compared to traditional crustacean chitosan, our black soldier-fly chitosan is traceable, sustainably produced, and notably has no toxic heavy metals, characteristics that not only carry marketing advantages, but tangible economic and physical ones as well. Our second product, melanin, is a dark pigment that colors our hair and skin. But far from being an ordinary pigment, melanin has captured the attention of the organic electronics and biomedical industries for its ability to conduct electricity, heal bones, protect against radiation, and much more. However, these high-value applications have long been hindered by melanin's low availability due to high production costs and its inability to dissolve in water. Now, that's where Insectta comes in. We have developed the world's first process to extract the low-cost water-soluble melanin in unprecedented quantities. Compared to expensive and water-insoluble melanin on the market, we set a new, much higher bar, paving the way for commercializing its amazing applications. Let me go into more details on the innovations that set us apart for the extraction process of melanin and chitosan. Here's how we do it. I'll break them down into 3 parts, starting with fermentation with BSF-21. This is a proprietary strain of bacteria we've isolated our cells, and it allows us to treat our raw material, which are black soldier-fly pupae shells. This first step differs already from traditional chitosan extraction process because pupae shells have no toxic heavy metals, unlike crustacean shells, and secondly, allows to skip the use of hydrochloric acid, which is great for later wastewater treatment steps. Afterwards, we can extract the chitosan and melanin using our patent-pending 2-step process, which allows us to take out proteins and then melanin. Melanin is purified in a series of steps which we keep strict trade secrets, and what is left is chitin, which we will convert using a sustainable process into chitosan. We haven't neglected the wastewater treatment steps. We will take wastewater from the previous 2 steps, mix them together in a specific ratio, and what is left is an effluent that can be discharged according to Singapore's national standards. This is a much more cost-effective and sustainable process than traditional wastewater treatment. As such, one process results in 2 precious biomaterial. Given chitosan's ready market and growing demand, we're diving right into commercialization. Meanwhile, the immense potential of the melanin market still has some way to go, but with applications being developed as we speak, the industry only serves to grow. Our biomaterials have already been validated by industry experts. We received purchase orders from 2 local companies for our chitosan, while our melanin has been labeled a game changer by our collaborators, once again for its water solubility and unprecedented availability. With our process, we're ready to commission our first pilot plant. The plant allows us to develop our industrialized process and kickstarts our go-to-market strategy. To help us reach our goals, we are currently raising $1.2 million in a safe note with half the funds already committed, and we're looking for interested parties to join us before we close at the end of the year. If you are excited as we are to see insects in applications beyond just feed and fertilizer, we love to have a chat to explore the possibilities. We're looking to speak to investors who want a sustainable tech-driven biotech company in the growing insect industry to join your portfolio. Or if you're a company in F&B, personal wellness, or organic electronics, reach out to us right after this. Thank you very much. And once again, I'm Kai from Insectta.
Hey, thank you, Kai. To our audience, if you'd like to connect with Insectta, please indicate your interest on the poll that's launched on your screen. And in the meantime, we will have a payout from Prominence. Prominence is commercializing high efficiency and low opacity perovskite photovoltaic glass for building integrated solar panels. And payout, over to you.
Hello, everybody. So my name is Pei Yap. I'm CEO of Prominence Photovoltaics, and we make photovoltaic glass. So the best way to harness solar energy is to use arrays of silicon solar panels, and you deploy them on flat surfaces such as flatland or rooftops. However, these surfaces are not cheap, nor are they readily available. So the next best alternative is to put them on building facades. Well, building facade is an untapped field. It presents several challenges to the incumbent technology, silicon solar panels. Our solution is to use perovskite. It is a cheaper, looks nicer, and works better under higher temperature than silicon. Our product has low opacity, making it suitable as window glass. Hence, our target market is building integrated photovoltaics. This is a side-by-side comparison between a perovskite solar panel and a silicon photovoltaic glass. As you can see, the perovskite photovoltaic glass has lines, and we can print in different patterns. It's more like a print pattern, whereas silicon, you can see discrete wafers and wirings. We are a pioneer in commercializing architecture-sized photovoltaic glass. There are also others in the perovskite space. However, they are more in putting perovskite in tandem with silicon, or they are depositing perovskite on flexible substrates, going more for the IoT market. We currently do not hold any patents, and we are keeping this technology as a know-how. If you are familiar with architects, you will know that they all want unique designs. One of the strengths of our product is that we can print in any design, hence satisfying the requirements of architects. Our business model starts with direct sales, as we already have market channels, and we already are in talks with some potential distributors and licensees, but we are not starting that yet because we want to have more traction, more projects before we start that, and eventually we can go towards solar leasing. We have been granted a Temasek Eco-Prosperity grant. We have purchased equipment. We are currently in the deployment phase for a pilot. The market has been expressing strong interest in our product, and the emphasis has always been on ROI. Since our incorporation in 2019, we have built up our own production line, and we should be finishing the deployment end of the year. Next year, we are going for a round of funding, and that is to build our automated production line, and we should be going towards profitability in 2025. Our team is made up of decorated researchers. Prof. Nipran and Jahao, they are both pioneers in perovskite research. For myself, I have 15 years experience in the glass industry and getting new products approved for architectural use. Our parent company is a leading glass processor and is able to give us market access to architects and consultants. We are looking for partners and investors. You can also help us by simply spreading the word that you can get power from your window with Prominence. Thank you.
Hey, thank you, Pei Yap. If you'd like to connect with Prominence, please indicate your interest on the poll launched on your screen. And next up, we have Ravin from bluEnergy. bluEnergy is the first marine renewable energy solution provider in Asia to pioneer the integration of clean marine renewable energy generation, storage, and distribution in a fully sustainable plug-and-play operating system. Ravin, over to you to tell us more.
Thank you, Warren. Good afternoon to everybody. I'm Ravin from bluEnergy Solutions Private Limited, a marine energy solution provider based in Singapore. The world is in need for more renewable energy to be part of the global energy mix. And we have solar and wind, and in fact, even hydropower contributing to the renewable energy annual additions globally. But if you have a trajectory of net zero in the coming years, set at about 500 gigawatts annually, we will need to have another solution or another contribution to the renewable energy source. And here at bluEnergy, we strongly believe ocean energy could be part of that solution to shorten that gap that we have to hit net zero targets. So at bluEnergy, we have focused on developing hydrokinetic tidal turbines. This is a renewable energy which is predictable. As long as we have the sun and the moon and the celestial movement, we will always have tides movements out in the ocean, moving to the shore and away from the shore back into the ocean. We have designed turbines that will be placed in strategic locations out there and to harness energy from low to high flows. This is us developing the tidal turbines. So we have developed and patented a bi-directional tidal turbine in Singapore, developed both the hardware and software. A proof of concept has been completed, and we have now currently looking at a couple of pilot projects. The design of the turbine is jointly developed together with A-Star in Singapore as well. And we have also looked at this being remotely monitored and easy to deploy and even maintain the product itself. We are looking at a harsh marine environment, but we have taken all this into consideration at a very early stage of the design. We also would like to deploy this in a concept called the bluEnergy station, something like having a petrol station out at sea. So we have turbines below a platform, and we could have multiple of this deployed in arrays to create this into a farm. And we not only work by ourselves, we can also work with solar and wind developers as well. Where do we go from here? So before we go to the great markets, because we're just off the shelf, we will focus, our initial target market will be replacing and reducing diesel in off-grid islands. We are directly already competitive as we start right now with the diesel prices that are going to the islands, and they are between 20 cents to $2. And we could be easily at 10 to 30 cents per kilowatt hour with deployment at certain sites in coastal waters or even off-grid islands. So what are we going to do now? We have a couple of pilot projects coming up and using Singapore as a launching pad into the region and globally. We have one which is in an existing infrastructure like the Sentosa Boardwalk. We are going to deploy a couple of turbines here and carry out a pilot. We won an innovative challenge organized by Enterprise SG called the Sustainability Open Innovation Challenge early this year. And that has led us to do this pilot here. This not only gives us a good example of how we deploy on an existing infrastructure like a bridge, or even on a mooring dolphin and jetties out there in the oceans, or with harbors and ports as well. The other one that we're doing, which is the initial target market, will also be reducing diesel usage in a southern island in Singapore. It's a lighthouse and it's running totally on diesel. We will deploy the bluEnergy station with turbines below the platform and cable it to the island to reduce the amount of diesel use on this island. This is actually a very good platform for us to go into the region, and it's attracted a lot of partners lately, including Kyuden Group from Japan, which is the fourth largest utility company in Japan. Our business model is very simple. We hope and we will focus on selling the entire system to our developers. We would love to partner with strategic partners, companies with already existing IPP license and global footprint in different countries so that we have an immediate reach. And that's a very good example. And Kyuden is exactly that. And they have joined us, and we will reach out to Japan. We have 7 sites identified, and also looking at Philippines and Indonesia at the same time in parallel. Besides this, we're also looking at markets which will also produce green hydrogen. So we have shipping companies such as MYCL Group joining us as well, looking at how do we produce renewable energy in the ocean and have hydrogen storage as well in the ocean. So the markets don't stop there. We have a small scale below 500 kilowatts. We can look at off-grid islands, bridges, ports, but the main target will be to go to grid scale and even B2B, and to look at how we can contribute to the emerging blue economy, which is such as aquaculture and even producing green hydrogen, and be part of the global hybrid renewable energy farms that are up and coming quite fast lately. So to wrap up our business, we don't want to be appearing as a one-trick pony. We don't just produce tidal turbines. We also like to provide a complete plug-and-play marine energy solution to our end users. So we could generate using our turbines, we could work with solar and wind developers. We could also store this energy out in the ocean and distribute it to our customers. So this is our entire business. So it's a product and a service to our customers. So the only way we're going to make money is either to sell the systems, or we could have PPA license together with partners in the region. That's us. Currently, we have already raised with a couple of angel investors and close to $2 million. And we're still looking to reach up to $5 million before we stop the raising early stage investment. And this is up to a 20% stake in the company. And within 3 to 5 years, we're looking at an exit strategy of a trade sales of this company. So thank you for listening. And I'm looking for strategic partners as well, project developers and investment. So if you're interested, please do give me a call. Thank you.
Thank you, Ravin. Once again, if you'd like to connect with bluEnergy, kindly indicate your interest on the poll launched on your screen. And next up, we have Peter from Synectify. Synectify provides carbon-neutral computing solutions for the world's most demanding and energy-intensive applications, including blockchain, Web3, and scientific computing.
Thanks for the introduction, Warren.
Okay, Peter, over to you.
Yep, good afternoon, everyone. I am Peter. I'm the CEO and co-founder of Synectify. We are a Singapore-based startup that's innovating at the intersection of high-performance, high-density computing and renewable energy transition. And we're focused on solving the problem of the 30 megawatt hours that is wasted globally every minute. Just to put that in perspective, that's the amount of energy that it takes to power 1,500 aircon units for 24 hours. It's being wasted every minute. My own background is actually in industrial scale Bitcoin mining. I co-founded a startup called Drone Energy in the United States in 2017 that was focused on providing mining solutions specifically to energy producers as a grid service. A couple of years ago, I decided to step away from that and see if I could take some of the lessons that I learned and apply a more general purpose type of computing solution to some of the new problems that renewables are introducing into the energy grids. Renewables are great, but one of the problems is that they tend to be intermittent. They often produce deficiencies or surpluses. And the surplus energy that is produced is very often constrained by transmission infrastructure. Transmission is expensive. This is why a solar farm, for example, in West Texas cannot power Singapore at night. So that's on the supply side. On the demand side, we also have a problem with growing demand for energy and growing energy cost across the board. And one of the most rapidly growing segments, and what we focus on, is high density computing. These are the computing systems that are powering our AI models, our Web3 technologies that are focused on solving really some of the weather forecasting and ocean modeling and climate change relevant computing problems. The interesting thing about this particular segment is that this type of computing is to a large degree intermittent. It can be stopped and it can be started. And so there's an opportunity here to match intermittent electrical load in the form of computing power with intermittent electrical supply. The other advantage to compute is that unlike electrons, which are very difficult to ship because of transmission constraints, data and computing workloads can easily be distributed on a global basis. And so our solution has been to develop a small, modular, scalable computing node that can be deployed in a responsive manner directly at the source of generation, bypassing the transmission constraints. We're building out a network of these nodes to help basically our grid and also our data center infrastructure transition from this highly centralized model that's powered by highly reliable but typically non-renewable baseload generation to a model that is more distributed, more flexible, and better suited to handle the new realities of our changing energy grids. So our business model is pretty simple. Apart from selling the hardware, we've built a software layer on top of this. You can kind of think of this as the Uber for compute model, just as Uber in their early days had a fleet of vehicles that they deployed and then sourced riders for those vehicles. We source computing jobs to basically run on our platform. We sell computing time on the platform on basically a cloud computing model. The advantage, of course, is that this is a renewable energy powered and carbon neutral compute solution. Just to kind of quantify this, the emission reduction that can be achieved through a single one of our modules is basically equivalent to replacing 20 petrol vehicles with Tesla Model 3s. So we actually see our positioning as complementary to a lot of other grid flexibility technologies. We are unlocking a rapidly expanding and very high value market opportunity, a $25 billion market opportunity in high density compute. And we are gaining traction. We have a pilot now scheduled for Singapore in cooperation with Jurong Innovation District West, which we hope to deploy in early next year. We're powered by a team of amazing professionals, all serial entrepreneurs with track records and very capable in execution. We're getting recognition, winning awards, and we are looking for investors and business partners and energy partners to join us in our mission to offset the past and renew the future. We are Synectify. Thank you.
Thank you, Peter. If you'd like to connect with Synectify, kindly indicate your interest on the poll launched on your screen. And next up, we have Adi from MYCL. MYCL is developing high-performance and sustainable vegan leather from mushroom. We will now play the pre-recorded pitch prepared by Adi.
The global leather market is expected to reach $75 billion in the next 12 months, but traditional leather production is extremely polluting our planet. It's emitting lots of greenhouse gases, polluting our water, and consuming a lot of energy. The only way for fashion world to become more sustainable is to explore alternative materials that are better for our people and planet. At MYCL, we believe mushroom can help us save the industry of fashion. This material can save 70% water consumption, 68% reducing global warming potential, and 17% less energy usage. I'm an architect, and my co-founder is a biotech engineer. We've spent 10 years researching and developing ways to use natural resources to create sustainable products using mycelium. From our humble beginning, selling gourmet mushrooms, to creating mycelium composite that can replicate the strength of concrete and steel in building structures. We were asked in 2018 if our technology could be applied to making mycelium leather and turn it into sneaker, like this one. So with our 4 patents and many trade secrets, our material is having 5 times better abrasions, 12 times faster growth rate compared to animal leather, and we can produce 50 to 70% cheaper to similar competitor. We've been able to replicate, even improve the look and texture. Sure enough, this solution has already been tested by LVMH prize-winning designers in Paris Fashion Week twice, in Spring-Summer 2021 and Fall-Winter 2022. It's ready-to-wear product, so people can buy it after the runway event is done. Recently, we got more trust from 6 global brands to do paid pilot program. Names like Under Armour, Camper, Decathlon is joining to create limited capsule collections by next year. We're also proud our first capsule collections with smaller brand already hit the store in Japan, so people can buy it now. In total, we are having sales agreement of $10 million or equal to 500,000 square feet until 2024. This is barely scratched the surface of global demand of vegan leather that reached almost $90 billion in 2025. We're glad people are interested to order, but we only have small facility in a small village in Indonesia. By having more proper, cleaner, and efficient equipment, we can use this to convince bigger agricultural waste producer to replicate and becoming our scaling up partner. We just closed our pre-series A in the first half 2022. Well-known names like prolific investors like in agri, fashion, and life sciences is in our cap table. We're launching a new fundraising round with total sort of investment of $4 million. We have several conversations with potential co-lead investors from notable names that can also help us as a strategic partners. There is no way we can continue to use animal or fossil fuel materials to sustain our current lifestyles. So I'm inviting you to join our vision and help us deliver these exciting products to the wider market so people can start saving the environment from their closet. I'm Adi, CEO and co-founder of MYCL. Thank you.
And that was the pitch from MYCL. If you'd like to connect with MYCL, kindly indicate your interest on the poll launched now. Next up, we have Sean from Mushroom Material. Mushroom Material is a mushroom-based sustainable and home compostable direct replacement for expanded polystyrene and other unsustainable packaging materials. We will now play the pre-recorded pitch prepared by Sean.
My name is Sean Seaman. I am the founder and CEO of Mushroom Material. We have developed a mushroom-based material as a direct replacement to expanded polystyrene. Now, what is expanded polystyrene? It is better known by its brand name of styrofoam, and it is found in all aspects of life, from appliance packaging to takeaway containers to household insulation. We use so much of it that we produce enough to cover an entire football field every 10 minutes. It is responsible for 90% of all marine debris and 30% of all landfill by volume. It takes 500 years to degrade, so once it's out there, it's really not going away anytime soon. And the worst part is, it breaks down into microplastics, contaminating our ecosystem and entering our water and food. Because of this, society has demanded change, and that change is reflected in no less than 5 of the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals. Governments around the world are forcing companies to look for alternative sustainable materials. And we have that solution. It is to bring sustainable packaging to the global market at scale. The way we do this is by combining mycelium, which is the root structure of mushrooms, with agricultural waste. That waste can be anything, as long as it is originally organic and contains fibers. For example, hemp, cardboard, sawdust, even straw, wood chips, coffee, you name it, we can use it. And by using our mushroom-based packaging, not only are we giving a second life to these organic waste materials, but we are simultaneously preventing the use of non-degradable plastic going into our oceans and landfills. Our material has great thermal and acoustic insulation properties. It is flame resistant and uses no harmful chemicals. Its strength, lightweight, and impact resistance make it ideal for use in the packaging industry without hurting our environment, which is specifically important in the one-way shipping of our consumer-driven society. The resulting material is completely sustainable in how it's produced. It is 100% compostable, so you can place it in your home compost, your garden, or even send it to landfill, and within a couple of months it will naturally degrade into its original components. And at the core of our technology is the ability to produce this material at scale, so we can supply the global market at an affordable price. So what does success look like? Well, we have never once paid for marketing, yet we have a new lead every 3 days through organic SEO. These range from cosmetics to appliances to construction. Just one of these companies represent 10 million in annual revenue. We currently have signed letters of intent from 13 companies with a further 50 in our pipeline. We have a proven product with a repeatable process. We are able to optimize the formula to give specific mechanical properties according to our customers' needs. And what's the point in creating this incredible material if we're not able to scale? The entire focus of our company is to use end-to-end automation to bring this amazing material to the global market. Whilst the expanded polystyrene market is a massive $99 billion, it is in its own right. It is not limited to alcohol appliances and cosmetics. There's a whopping $500 billion market increase with packing peanuts, food containers, and general plastic foam packaging. These are all markets our material is able to expand into. And this is the team that will make it all happen. I have a background in mechanical engineering and the design and manufacture of consumer products around the world. Joe Tinder is our COO and has extensive experience in automation, scaling, and quality control of mass manufacturing plants. And Paul, our CTO, is one of the most sought-after engineers in the region with 15 years experience in prototyping, automation, and building factories. And he specializes in early-stage, fast-growing companies. So that's us at Mushroom Material. Our vision is to completely revolutionize the way we use and view packaging materials by replacing expanded polystyrene with mushroom-based materials. We are looking for investors who can back our vision and corporate partners who want to make a change. Thank you. My name is Sean Seaman.
And that was the pitch from Mushroom Material. If you'd like to connect with Mushroom Material, kindly indicate your interest that will be launched on your screen shortly. And next up, we have Pei Kang from TRIA. TRIA offers a patented closed-loop solution for food service packaging, taking end-to-end ownership from supply to collect back for organic recycling. This has enabled food services brands such as KFC to close the loop from table to farm. We will now play the pre-recorded pitch prepared by Pei Kang.
Everyone, my name is Pei Kang and I'm the CEO of TRIA. So single-use packaging, where does it go after you throw it away? Unfortunately, mostly to your incineration or landfill. Can this problem be solved? It can be. So in June this year, we started out a closed-loop pilot with KFC for single-use packaging. This is a world first because not even the likes of your Subway or McDonald's have accomplished this. So what we do here is we take the single-use packaging along with the food packaging, and we digest them through organic recycling technologies. So a couple of our patent pending technologies here, which I'll share more with you later on. So from here, we extract the nutrients, turn it into high bioequivalence fertilizer into crops, and crops back into the table. So looking to extend this to the rest of Singapore upon success of the pilot. And the feedback since then has been tremendous. So we receive inquiries, from some of the world's biggest food service brands. And of course, the problem. Now, I don't want to get too nerdy here. Okay, I think we all know the problem. Just to bring your attention to the F&B packaging sector, which is the biggest contributor of single-use plastics. Very sizable market. Okay, big problem to solve. And of course, some of the fast food giants like McDonald's, KFC, Burger King, each one of them has pledged commitments to reduce, and to eliminate single-use packaging. Now, how can we move on from here? I think that's the question. So where are we now industry-wise? reduce, reuse, recycle, we kind of reach a bit of a stalemate. In terms of reduction, not much less can be removed besides your straw. Okay, and that's not really moving the needle. In terms of reuse, many brands have explored dishwashing. Okay, this is a very prohibitive overhaul of operation that involves renovation, manpower, all right, over 20,000 outlets across the world. And these are not even these are not even the brand-owned restaurant, these are franchisee-owned. Okay, in terms of recycling of such packaging, very tough because source segregation is essential because it is mixed together with your food waste, your food scraps, wet, oily. So how can we come in to solve the problem? We do not need self-segregation. So if you look at the top right-hand corner, with our bio-based packaging, right, basically when you throw it together with all the food scraps, this is considered organic waste. With KFC's pilot, we're looking for us, all right, as the exclusive provider for all the packaging so that everything that's thrown into the bin is compatible to organic recycling. And we work with waste partners, all right, who will offload this waste, all right, and we equip them with our technologies so that they can now actually digest packaging waste together with food scraps. Okay, and through this, we extract the fertilizer, biogas as well. I'll share more later on. Okay, fertilizer and putting it into high bioequivalence fertilizer. Working with Yara here, Yara is the world's second biggest fertilizer company, okay, to really turn them into commercially viable products. Okay, so what is notable here is that we take waste ownership. Okay, we do not leave it to chance. We do not stop at compostable, which is a promise, right, that is not usually delivered. We collect the waste as well, direct producer's responsibility. But the beauty out of all this, right, out of this closed loop end-to-end system, is that we also find multiple monetization avenues. Okay, so all in all, this is a scalable CapEx light because we do not invest in the digestion technology. It belongs to us, but it is invested by our waste partners. So on the top left-hand side, just taking you through, basically we provide all the packaging, right, that's being used for pilot for KFC today. Okay, and after consumption, the consumers will throw it all into the same bin in the restaurant. We do not need an additional bin for segregation. Okay, together with the food scraps, we take it all. It's collected, it is organically recycled, and we turn it into mineral-rich fertilizer. Now, this is business as usual, no change in operation. And with our proprietary technology here to rapid depolymerize the packaging, we basically open up two pathways. Okay, the green pathway is aerobic digestion, industrial composting. So some of you might be very familiar with industrial composting. It takes a long time, all right, for packaging waste to be broken down, especially your 1.5 mm, 2 mm thick cutlery. That takes months. All this happened for us in a day. The blue path, anaerobic digestion, and packaging waste going to anaerobic digestion is again unheard of. All right, we're talking about low energy, mesophilic style anaerobic digestion. And what we do here is that we will depolymerize, okay, the material. All right, in terms of paper wise, this is your lignocellulosic material. We turn it into glucose, within a matter of days, and it now can be anaerobic digestion compatible. So this is also where it's really exciting because we are breaking down the packaging into its components. All right, in packaging, largely you are looking at your carbon, hydrogen, and oxygen. How can we extract this as biogas in this case? All right, CH4, methane, all right, and the rest of it for the food waste coming out as fertilizer. Now, this is a breakthrough in technology, and we have patented both technologies. So where are we now? We are already a known brand here in Singapore. We have been doing business. Last year's revenue is 2.7 million for sustainable packaging. And for a closed loop approach, this is our next phase of business growth to take us global. On year, we're looking at very exciting multiplier growth. Okay, this year on track to 3.5, next year 10 mil with a very exciting pipelines in terms of clients who have expressed interest. Okay, the base layer packaging, all right, this is something that is a stable base, okay, for sustainable packaging. And right? We're looking at the add-on circular packaging, circular fertilizer. So we have a ready core team ready to go, all right, ranges across from R&D, innovation, solutionings, F&B industry, industrial engineering. Okay, on our board of directors, we have representatives from VCs and private investments, and advisors were some of the world's top names, right, in material science and bioenergy. So we're looking for 5 mil for 20 mil valuation, for which we will turn it into R&D, business and partnership development, and of course to build the bench strength. So we are looking for investors who believe that circularity is possible. We can make viable business, okay, but at the same time, okay, do good for the environment. So I'm looking forward to speak to some of you, and thank you.
And that was the pitch from TRIA. If you'd like to connect with TRIA, kindly indicate your interest on the poll launched on the screen now. And last but not least, we have Kai Liang from AEGIS Packaging. AEGIS Packaging manufactures O2X, an ultra-thin and ultra-high oxygen barrier coating, which makes sustainable packaging viable while increasing product shelf life and reducing product wastage. We will now play the pre-recorded pitch prepared by Kai Liang.
Hi, my name is Kai Liang from AEGIS Packaging, and we're here to make sustainable packaging viable. Do you know that plastic packaging contributes to 50% of all plastic waste? And 1/3 is leaked into our environment, polluting our oceans, just like the Great Pacific Garbage Patch. And it's not just about waste pollution, we also produce 700 million tons of carbon emission annually from this packaging production. And we consume 5 grams of microplastics weekly. The problem is only growing. Unfortunately, many existing plastic packaging today, like multi-material packaging, are not even recyclable. On the other hand, sustainable alternative lacks the barrier performance required to replace multi-material packaging. Introducing O2X, our innovative patented high barrier coating solution. We can coat on PE and PP films to produce mono-material packaging to replace existing multi-material packaging consisting of materials like aluminum foil, PET or nylon, and kickstart our circular economy journey. We have superior oxygen barrier performance, improving shelf life. We're also compatible to a wide range of existing products and application. And lastly, our cost is low, so switching to our solution enables businesses to comply better with the environment while maintaining profitability. We already completed our first phase with our high oxygen barrier coating O2X that is commercially ready. This can help with the recycling economy, as recycled plastic can save up to 30% of plastic packaging carbon emission. We are already in the midpoint of the second phase, where we want to improve our water vapor barrier, as also one of customers' key consideration. And by the third phase, we want to move towards 100% compostable packaging. That means even if the packaging is contaminated, it still can be fully composted. We have a total addressable market of $160 billion. We are targeting the $11 billion high barrier market with phase 1 and 2 products, and eventually in 10 years to achieve 5% of total market share with all 3 phases. Since our inception in 2018, we have collaborated with global resin supplier to co-market a high barrier PE film and partner with A-Star for R&D. Presently, we're in paid pilot trials with over 40 plus large brand owners and converters. Our manufacturing line can produce 250 tons of O2X per month. And this year, we're filing 2 new IPs to further deepen our coating technology. We have also started our first commercial sales this year and engaged with 4 distributors globally. Since we are selling our coatings, we are very versatile. We can work with the entire value chain from resin producers like Dow, ExxonMobil, all the way to potential end brand owners like Nestle and PepsiCo. We can sell a pre-existing coating or work closely with them to customize a tailored solution. Our business is helmed by Mr. Ong, a serial entrepreneur with 30 years of business experience. I was previously from Avian and Clarion, the global leaders for specialized polymer materials. Dr. Lee and Dr. Liu both have deep technical knowledge in their respective fields of food science and polymer composites. We're looking for a strategic partner to collaborate with us to develop new packaging solutions with O2X, to expand the market quickly and capture market globally, and to guide us to become a global organization and to start our fundraising activities in early 2022. Partner with AEGIS and let's progress commercially and sustainably by doing good and doing well. Thank you very much. Hi, my name.
And that was the pitch from AEGIS Packaging. If you'd like to connect with AEGIS Packaging, kindly indicate your interest on the poll launched now. And with that, we have come to the end of today's Sustainability Corporate Pitch event. We would like to thank all the presenters for sharing on your solutions, and we also like to thank all our audiences for joining us and staying till the end. We hope this has been an insightful session for you. We will be sharing today's poll results with our startups for them to reach out to you. If you'd like to speak with us regarding any corporate engagement matters, I have shared our email in the chat box. Feel free to reach out to us over email. We look forward to seeing you again and have a wonderful evening. See you at our next event, and goodbye.